Welcome to Engadget Tomorrow. I'm Imran Sheikh, and this is where you get to hear about tomorrow today. This episode is all about what we're seeing in space and what we might see in the future. Now, we know that everything we see from space is technically in the past, but you get it. Let's start in our own solar system. Saturn's moon Enceladus has phosphorus. The finding came from recently analyzed icy particles emitted from the natural satellite's ocean plumes, detected by NASA's Cassini spacecraft. The discovery means Enceladus has all the chemical building blocks for life as we know it on Earth. Morgan Cable is an astrobiology chemist at NASA's Jet Propulsion Laboratory and told the Wall Street Journal this is the final one, saying, yes, Enceladus does have all the ingredients that typical Earth life would need to live, and that the ocean there is habitable for life as we know it. Cassini, which plunged to its demise in Saturn's atmosphere in 2017, collected data by passing through Enceladus's continually erupting geysers at its south pole and Saturn's E ring, also containing escaped particles from the moon. Beneath its icy crust, Enceladus has a warm subsurface ocean, over 30 miles deep, enveloping the entire moon. The eruptions at its south pole spit icy particles into space, allowing research crafts like Cassini to study the ocean's chemical makeup without taking a dip or even touching the moon's surface. Data from previous missions indicated the moon had all of life's essential building blocks: carbon, hydrogen, nitrogen, oxygen, and sulfur, except for phosphorus. A team of planetary scientists found 9 grains containing phosphate, phosphorus bound to oxygen atoms, among around 1,000 samples initially overlooked by researchers. The tiny amount detected reflects phosphorus's scarcity. Of the 6 bioessential elements, phosphorus is by far the rarest in the cosmos, said Frank Postberg, the study's lead author. Of course, Enceladus containing the requirements for life doesn't necessarily mean life exists on the moon. Cable said, the next step is to figure out if indeed it is inhabited, and it is going to take a future mission to answer that question. But this is exciting because it makes Enceladus an even more compelling destination to go and do that kind of search. NASA will get a chance to learn more when the Dragonfly mission heads for Saturn's moon Titan in 2027. Another proposed mission could arrive at Enceladus around 2050. In addition, the James Webb Telescope may help further to illuminate the chemical breakdown of Enceladus's warm subterranean ocean. And speaking of the Webb Telescope, it's putting in work already. Astronomers using the telescope have found a planet they believe is blanketed by active volcanoes. In a study published Tuesday in the journal Nature, a multinational team of scientists said they discovered an Earth-sized exoplanet they believe may have water on part of its surface. The boringly named LP 79118d is located about 90 light-years from Earth in the Crater constellation. It orbits a red dwarf it is tidally locked to, meaning the planet doesn't have a day and night cycle like Earth. Instead, one part of the planet is constantly scorched by sunlight, while the other is always in darkness. Bjorn Bennecke is one of the astronomers who studied the planet, and he told NASA's Jet Propulsion Laboratory the dayside would probably be too hot for liquid water to exist on the surface, but the amount of volcanic activity we suspect occurs all over the planet could sustain an atmosphere, which may allow water to condense on the night side. The LP 79118 system contains at least 2 other planets called, very originally, LP 79118b and c. The latter is 2.5 times larger than Earth and more than 7 times its mass. It also affects the orbit of planet D, making it travel along an elliptical path around the system's sun. That path means LP 79118d is deformed every time it completes an orbit. The study's co-author, Jesse Christensen, said, "A big question in astrobiology is if tectonic or volcanic activity is necessary for life. In addition to potentially providing an atmosphere, these processes could churn up materials that would otherwise sink down and get trapped in the crust, including those we think are important for life, like carbon." NASA, ESA, and CSA already plan to turn the James Webb Telescope's infrared imaging instruments on the newly discovered planet's neighbor, LP 79118c. The team that discovered them thinks the exoplanet would make for an exceptional candidate for atmospheric studies by the mission. Notably, the retired Spitzer Space Telescope helped spot the planet before NASA decommissioned it in 2020. And just last week, the U.S. Space Force awarded a $250,000 grant to explore the feasibility of bringing the telescope out of retirement. So maybe it'll find more planets in the future. Thanks for listening to the show. Make sure to rate, review, and subscribe on Apple Podcasts. Today's show featured journalism by Engadget contributors Will Shanklin and Nathan Ingram and was produced by Spoken Layer. I'm Imran Sheikh, and we'll talk more tomorrow.
Spoken Layer.